The following program is furnished by K1 International LLC and is responsible for its content. Now, from the 5th floor Cumulus Studios in downtown Dallas, it's time for Inside Real Estate. Here's your host, Michael Kruizinga.
Good morning, Texas. How we doing? Welcome to your Sunday morning. Welcome to Inside Real Estate, Sports, Entertainment, Politics. Wild and craziest weekend show you ever did here. We talk about more things in one show than any other show, I think. It's we pack a lot in, and a lot of things you figure just don't fit together, but somehow they all do. Website's InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. You can connect with me. By the way, if you need to do anything in the real estate world, buy, sell, invest, give me a call, give me a shout. And then, of course, you can connect with all of our partners there, all of our social media. All the stories we talk about on the show are on our Pinterest page. You can connect from the website there as well. Action-packed show for you today. We're going to do some real estate talk. We got mortgage talk. We got insurance talk. We got our good friend from Hydrojet Walk-In Tubs, Randy Addington, is here live in the studio today, which is nice. Good to see him. And we're also going to do some foundation talk with our folks over at Perma Pier Foundation Repair. So we got an action-packed show for you today, and we hope you stay tuned for all of that. Got some great listings. Check the website for that. And hey, let's get into, we're going to talk a fair bit of sports today. We're going to do a little sports, and we're going to do a little bit of politic talk. All right. What do we got in the sports world today? Well, let's see here. Let's start with, I know Richard has been waiting for me to mention Kaepernick again.
I was so proud of you last week for not bringing him up.
Last week I didn't say anything about it at all. And I'm not really going to say anything about it today. But
you just did.
I know. Something related, though.
That's right.
This was interesting. Colts cornerback Antonio Cromartie was recently released on the 4th of October. And his wife came out on social media and said that he was released because he did the kneel down fist pump protest during the anthem. But he did it a couple different times, and he was released after the second one, but he also wasn't playing all that well either. By the way, he's a 4-time Pro Bowler, but he wasn't playing all that well in this last game, and he was benched in the second half. And the wife is saying that all the players were told, you're not going to kneel, and he did anyway. And she says that's why he got released. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But at the end of the day, he was also benched in the second half of the most recent game, and so he was let go. And so whether it was for performance or just, he's bad in the locker room and causing an issue, causing a stink, he's breaking away from the team, I'm absolutely good with that. So, at the end of the day, you're an employee. You do what the employer says, or you can go work somewhere else. And that works in the NFL, it works in the NBA, and any other sport, and any other job as far as I'm concerned. So I'm 100% fine with that, happy with that, and good to go with that.
As long as you're happy with it, that's all that really matters.
Isn't it? I think so. Now let's talk about some guys who are really doing some good things, in sports. We got good old Dak Prescott, and he's doing some amazing things for the Cowboys. But this guy, he's just a good guy. Instead of taking the limelight to a different level like Des Bryant does. This guy, he's taking the off week. He's going to go home. He's just spending time with family, staying low key, not taking these media interviews or anything like that. And unlike Romo on an off week, he's not flying down to Cabo and to play golf or anything like that. He's going to go home. He's going to study film. So what a good guy. This guy is, I'm happy to, maybe see him as our future franchise quarterback for sure. Nice seeing that. Another nice guy in the NFL, and I'm really happy about this. Sam Bradford, being brought into Minneapolis, and he hits right away. Bridgewater's out, Peterson's out. The team says, hey, we're going to get out and get Bradford, bring him in. He's got to learn North Turner's offense, which is not easy, and he hit it running. And he's playing really well, and I've always liked this guy. I liked him in college. I liked him at OU. But, he came out into St. Louis right away. Their O-line was horrible, and he got hurt a lot. and he's kind of moved around a little bit with the league, but he got hurt a lot. And so it's nice to see that a good guy and a great quarterback is finally getting a little bit of an opportunity with a good team, but he's putting in the work effort. He's putting in 14, 15 hours. I mean, everybody at the Vikings is saying, hey, this guy he's in there before everybody gets there, and he's way after everybody leaves, kind of like the Peyton Manning effect. And he's putting in the time to study the film, study the offense. Nice to see, somebody rebound from injuries, and a tough start in the NFL.
I mean, he started off his NFL career with injuries. I mean, because his senior year, because I followed him because he's OU, but there is not. But I can't think of one quarterback that has made more money, undeservedly so, than him. Because he had a great rookie year, and then this year, but every other year that he's been in the league, he has not deserved it.
Yeah, well, it's nice to see somebody, and look, and a lot of times that's the way the NFL is. They pay you before you make it. Look at what we paid Des Bryant. Should we pay him what we pay him? Absolutely not. You can say that about players all throughout the league, but it's nice to see someone who is putting the effort in, and kind of like RG3. RG3 got injured, and he was putting in the time and effort as well. For him, he's just too skinny.
Right.
He just was not bulked up again. I'd like to see him rebound. Because he's an amazing player as well. You just hate to see these amazing quarterbacks come into the league, or any amazing player, and then get right away hit with injuries. In that first 1 or 2 years you get hit with injuries, sometimes you don't rebound back into the league at all.
Oh yeah.
So I really liked seeing this. Kind of a good story. Plus he's a good guy. He's been driving the same F-150 he got in 2010. Maybe he's been paid a lot of money, but he sure didn't act like it. And you like to see that in an NFL player. Potentially NFL viewership down. There's a couple studies out by Yahoo, and also this was Goodell came out in a press conference saying that wire ratings down, and saying of course he's typical PC comment, everything's fine, no big deal. But these polls are saying that according to the over 1,000 in this last survey that they did, Americans who love NFL. They're saying these protests are what's bugging them, and they're tuning out of NFL or not watching as much, or just catching the updates and the highlights online, catching ESPN Sports Center, and not watching all the games. So maybe, just maybe, these protests that the league is having an impact with the average NFL fan. And I can tell you, we've talked about it before. I think the average NFL fan is patriotic. And, right. We love America. We love our country, love our state, whatever state we live in. We love our town, whatever town we live in. And we love our NFL teams, and our sports teams. And we're all patriotic, and we don't want to see this. And we especially don't want to see it from overpaid, high-priced, complaining athletes by any stretch. So they're going to have to look into that. Next week we've got, by the way, there's a new book, QB, My Life Behind the Spiral, Steve Young. His book just released last week. We've got the co-author on next week. We're going to talk to him about the book. Going to talk to him about sports in general, what's going on at both collegiate and pro level in a number of capacities, a number of sports. And, of course, we're going to talk to him about the book with Steve Young. Potentially, Steve Young's going to be able to be on the show with us as well, although I'm doubting it because he has other duties on Sunday, us being a Sunday show. But Jeff Benedict, his co-author, is on the show. So looking forward to that. Well, since we're on an election year, let's talk briefly a little bit of politics. Early voting starting next week. And, in Arlington, we're going to be voting on the stadium. And I love all the ads that Arlington is putting out. Don't let Dallas steal the Rangers. We've got this everywhere. And it's just, typical political ads. The Rangers aren't going anywhere. Dallas wouldn't pull the trigger for the Cowboys. They're not pulling the trigger for the Rangers. There's no offer on the table, by the way. So Arlington voters, do a little research because there's no offer on the table from anywhere, including Dallas. Dallas is having a hard time dealing with its own issues in Dallas. We got the police fund, which is underfunded. Exactly. We got Fair Park. Dallas has got so many issues, it's not even funny, much less trying to get the Rangers over. It ain't going to happen. 22-year-old stadium. We don't need a new one. Go back to the drawing board on that. Maybe look at what the Miami Dolphins did, which is a $500 million canopy system, which, by the way, was funded $250 million from Hard Rock and a naming rights deal and $250 million from the ownership. So just a thought. And so maybe Arlington taxpayers, you don't need to put any money out there. Otherwise, Texas pretty conservative, but I tell you, we got a lot of conservatives here in Texas. Seems like they're wanting to go the opposite way. Dinesh D'Souza, when he was on the show, he talked about, he's like, look, American politics are in a team sport, and you can vote for one team or the other, and that's about it. But I tell you, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, they're they might as well just tell you to vote for Hillary, which they pretty much have said.
I was going to say, haven't they already done that?
Pretty much. And I'm even surprised, with, and 570 Cliff, daytime extraordinaire, and Cliff royalty, Glenn Beck, every single show, and I'm a huge fan, I've been for years and years and years, listen to it all the time, but every single day he's just hammering away, at Trump. Look, Trump's not a great candidate by any stretch, but do you want Hillary? All the things that we talked about with Dick Morris, with Dinesh D'Souza, the uranium Russian deal that, Clinton ran through while she was Secretary of State. Come on, but yet you're going to hammer away against Trump. It's team politics. You need to vote for the best team. So any given Sunday, I'm guessing that, like the media had reported and throughout the primaries when Trump was going to lose time and time and again, when he won big and again, I'm guessing it's going to be similar to that this year, but we'll see what happens. Everybody get out and vote. Hey, folks, we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to come on back. See you in a few.
When I listen to Audible, I'm not flying to my 3rd sales meeting this month. I'm on a romantic date with my vampire boyfriend, Pierre. That pale skin, those dark, mysterious eyes, and those pointy teeth. Take me away, Pierre!
Ma'am?
I want to become queen of the night.
Ma'am, something to drink?
Water, please?
Go to audible.com/actnow, and your first download is free. Audible, stories that surround you.
An important message from Medicare.
I found a better deal on prescriptions.
I found a new plan with lower costs.
It's Medicare open enrollment. Have you compared plans yet? Who knows what you might find?
Check out your options at Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
You never know unless you go.
Medicare open enrollment, October 15th through December 7th. Brought to you by the Department of Health and Human Services.
When it comes to your mortgage and refinance needs, trust Terri Wagner, our resident mortgage expert on Inside Real Estate Radio. With a wide range of financing options and competitive interest rates, you can trust Terri for a fast and reliable loan process with superior service. Go to terriwagner.com or 469-644-4818 today. Supreme Lending is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID number 207089, 6730 Horizon Road, Suite B, Heath, Texas, 75032. SML Mortgage Banker Registration, Residential Mortgage Loan Originator.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, we are back. It's Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga. Website InsideRealEstateRadio.com, InsideRealEstateRadio.com. We're here with Jared Benson of Perma Pier, Foundation Repair of Texas. Look folks, foundation repair is just a permanent part of what we have to deal with here in the DFW Metroplex as homeowners. And so, we're always talking to Jared about tips and tricks of, what to do to avoid it, but if you need it, how to deal with it. And today we're going to be talking about plumbing as it relates to foundation repair. And so, Jared, how we doing?
I'm doing great, Mike. Good morning. Thanks for having me back again. I always enjoy being here.
Yeah, absolutely. I always enjoy learning and getting schooled by Mr. Jared here. So let's talk how plumbing relates to it.
Yeah, plumbing. So when people have foundation repair performed, it's a big ticket item. It really is. An average repair is going to be a couple of grand at least. There are bigger ones. There are smaller ones.
Sure.
But what a lot of people fail to think about and fail to realize is that when the foundation repairs have been done and the crew leaves the house, that's not when your problems always stop. We always like it when, that's all the customer has to deal with and there's nothing after the fact. They have a past plumbing test. But that's not always the case. So we're talking about plumbing, and I said a past plumbing test. The reason what we're going to talk about is so important today is because of what all foundation repair companies have in their fine print. No matter what an evaluator tells you or what the contract says you're getting, if you look at the foundation repair company's fine print, they're going to tell you if there's a plumbing leak, it could very possibly void your warranty. So some companies, the ones you don't want to work with, they're not going to tell you about a plumbing test. They're not going to mention plumbers. They're going to get in and get out, and they're never going to say anything about plumbing. And you're going to call them back 2-3 years later, and you're going to say, hey, please come back out and look at my house. They're going to say, please have a plumbing test done first. And then you're going to have a leak, maybe, and then they're going to tell you that there's no warranty anymore. Most companies that, Mike, that you have heard of, that you've seen around, people who work in the real estate arena, they're not going to do that. They are going to make sure their clients have a plumbing test performed or know that they should have a plumbing test performed.
Right.
They might leave it up to the client, or they might actually schedule it, include it in the bid, but it's just a plumbing test. So you get that plumbing test done, and it's either going to pass or it's going to fail. If it passes, you should be good to go. You have a valid warranty, and you're going to be A-okay, at least for now. And that's how Perma Pier does it. We actually require you to have a past plumbing test before we even tell you there's a valid warranty, because we don't want to misrepresent it and tell you, oh, you've got a warranty because we did repairs, when you haven't repaired a leak yet.
Right.
And we're going to require that leak to be repaired before we come back out, do adjustment work or something like that.
Sure.
So it protects you or maybe your buyers in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how often does that happen is really, people here say, oh, well, okay, this is why I want it done, but how does it affect me? I got a little bit of bad news, Mike. About 30% of homes that have foundation repairs are also going to need plumbing repairs.
Okay.
So if you can do some quick math in your head, what's the good news? Yeah, some people like that joke. Some people don't.
Like most everybody doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, so about 70% of homes aren't going to have any problems as it relates to plumbing after the fact.
Right.
And the next question that a lot of realtors like to ask when they're going to have to recommend a plumbing company to come out and do work, or a foundation repair company, whichever comes first, is how often does foundation repairs cause the plumbing? And that's a good question because it can happen. Mm-hmm. Improperly lifting a foundation definitely can cause a plumbing issue.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they overlift, if they lift somewhere they shouldn't lift, or something like that. But even a properly executed lift and a stabilized foundation, everything done perfectly, can still cause a plumbing issue. But that's not the only way plumbing issues are caused. A foundation settling over the course of 10 years, slowly crushing an old cast iron pipe, that can cause a plumbing issue. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes the cast iron pipe has actually sprung a leak, or a root has intruded, and there's leaks, and the leaks can cause a foundation issue. So we don't always know which one came first, whether it was the plumbing leak that caused it, the foundation issue that caused the plumbing leak, or the lift that caused it. But that is what, that's about 30% of homes. And then people are like, well, people like to ask very specific questions. What about my house? What about this? What about that? You got to kind of use common sense. If someone tells you that he's guaranteeing that you won't have a plumbing issue, you should get a second opinion.
Yeah, because there's no guarantees.
There's no guarantees
in life, much less this.
Yeah, much less, I promise you, in foundation repair. So the next thing is, well, where's your problem at? What type of sewer system or plumbing lines do you have? How big is your issue? Just to give you extreme examples, if you have a half-inch drop in your garage where there's no plumbing lines, you're very unlikely to have a plumbing issue after the fact. If you have a 3-inch drop next to your sink or your kitchen or your bathroom or plumbing lines or a sink or a toilet, and you have an old cast iron system, cast iron, they kind of started phasing it out around 1980. You might still have it early 80s, most likely not. Anything older than that, you're likely to have cast iron or clay maybe for a few years, but those systems are much more likely to be brittle and break if the issues are in areas that have those type of systems. So 3-inch drop in the kitchen with an old PVC system, or where the line exits, you're a lot more likely to have a plumbing issue.
Yeah, because let's talk about some of the basics here. We're talking about plumbing, And people think, oh, plumbing, it's a big deal, and of course it is. But when we're talking about the actual materials that take care of our plumbing, bringing the water in or taking the water out as wastewater, these materials, they're not bulletproof, let's say.
Yeah, especially that the outtake, the sewer lines.
Exactly, and they're going through our slab.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about most of these homes are going to be on a slab, so they're going through the slab. So they're already under a bit of pressure anyway, as they're going through the slab, connecting underground, and so they're under pressure anyway. And then you take the natural shifting that we have around our foundation to begin with.
That's right.
Which is every, summer and winter, there's extreme temperatures. And then we go and apply foundation repair to it and jack up maybe one side or multiple sides, try to level out additional pressures. So it's kind of obvious, looking at it in one aspect, you'd almost expect for something
exactly
to cause the plumbing to go ahead and deteriorate. It's already deteriorated over time anyway. You'd almost expect a plumbing leak, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely, and definitely in older homes, like you're saying, with cast iron, it's very common.
Yeah. Now if you're in a pier and beam home, obviously a totally different story.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the same issues all of us slab owners have.
Yeah, and what's really cool about the pier and beam homes is even though with certain repair types, a company's still going to want a plumbing test, you can visually inspect most of that plumbing when you're under there.
Right.
And
yeah,
tell.
you can see it.
And I've actually been under a house where I didn't need the test to tell me there was a leak because someone flushed it when I was under there. So,
surprise.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason that the underside wasn't drying out. Yeah.
That's right.
So definitely pier and beams, it's a less likely, it's less common that there are plumbing leaks. It's certainly less likely that any sort of foundation repairs or foundation movement caused the plumbing leaks.
Right.
But positive is you can actually see most of the piping and see where it may or may not be.
Yeah. And whereas a slab, you just can't see it.
Yeah.
Unless you dig it up.
And that kind of gets to what we might talk quickly just about how the plumbing repairs work is they do the test and that just tells them if there's a leak or if there's not a leak. But if there is, they have to go in and figure out where the leaks are and what's going to take to repair. And those services aren't free. They generally have to, run a camera through your plumbing lines, the sewer line at least, to figure out where the leaks are visually. So it's time consuming. An average 2,000 square foot home could take anywhere from, 3.5 to 6 hours with a guy using a camera that's running through all your plumbing system. And that's plumbing's not cheap. It generally runs about $100 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just to tell you what's wrong with your house. So it can be a frustrating process, especially for homeowners who aren't prepared for it and don't understand how it works and everything. So
yeah, absolutely. It just goes to show folks, when you do need foundation repair, and look, most of us, our homes are going to need it at some point and in their lifetime. My home, 40 something years old, and it's, a lot of us are in those 40-something-year-old homes or 30-something-year-old. You'd be surprised. You think about a house. Oh, it was only built in 85, Well,
that's 30 years
85,
old.
Yeah.
31.
It's older than we think, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then what about the folks that live in those subdivisions built in the 50s and 60s?
Yeah, I'm in a 55. I did that math. My home is more than twice my age.
Right. So. Exactly. So, look, and with our soil conditions here, we're going to have foundation repair, but it's paramount that you pick the right company.
Yeah.
And so talking about plumbing and understanding plumbing like your company does is extremely important because you don't want to just fix one issue to have another issue.
That's right. Yeah, we started a plumbing company about 3.5 years ago because we just couldn't find a plumber that we liked and thought we took good care of our clients. So we offer a whole package in one. We can do the foundation and the plumbing. No one's required to use our plumbing company if they don't like us or they don't want to use it for some reason. But we feel like it's the best option for most customers to get be able to deal with the same company for the whole aspect.
The whole process.
That's right.
Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely. Okay. Well, I think we've got some good information out there about the plumbing side of things to folks. Folks, by the way, if you need foundation repair, you just need a check on foundation repair. Maybe you need that plumbing check. Permapier.com is the website.
Yep. You can reach us at 214-637-1444 or permapier.com. You can even schedule appointments online with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Just let them know you heard it on the radio, and they will get you taken care of. Folks, another great segment with Perma Pier Foundation Repair of Texas and Jared Benson. Hey, Inside Real Estate folks, come on back in a few.
What is it about buying a mattress that leaves you feeling violated? Pushy salespeople, fake sales, the walk of shame out of the mattress store? Those days are over. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, co-founder of Helix Sleep, where you can buy a mattress online, customized for you, for hundreds of dollars instead of thousands. Go to helixsleep.com, answer a few simple questions, and we build you the most comfortable mattress you'll ever sleep on. Shipping is free, and you have 100 nights to try it out. Go to helixsleep.com/talkradio and get $50 off your order. That's helixsleep.com/talkradio.
Attention professional sales reps. What does your future look like right now? Let me tell you what it might look like selling for some of the most recognizable radio stations in Dallas-Fort Worth. It's exciting. It's meeting new people. It's prospecting. It's creating a market plan for a customer and making it work. It's potentially very lucrative. It's taking your future into your own hands. Interested? Send me your resume. Richard.lane@cumulus.com. That's Richard.lane@cumulus.com. Cumulus is a drug-free workplace and an equal opportunity employer.
If you have a timeshare, this time of year you're probably thinking about those maintenance fees coming due. Hi, I'm Karen Holloway, owner of Lone Star Transfer, located right here in the DFW area. Before you pay your maintenance fees, call us for a free consultation, 972-722-3166. We'll get you out of your timeshare and put a stop to those maintenance fees, guaranteed. 972-722-3166 or LoneStarTransfer.com.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey, folks, we are back. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. InsideRealEstateRadio.com is the website. Hey, time to do a little hydrojet walk-in tub talking. We've got the owner of Randy Addington here. By the way, his website, hydrojetwalkintubs.com, hydrojetwalkintubs.com. Now, this is a product, folks, that, look, once you get to a certain age, inevitably we all fall generally in the bathroom. And, once you get to a certain age, you want to take that risk out of life because you don't want to stop playing golf. You don't want to stop traveling. You don't want to let something happen in your golden years that's going to impact this. And that's where the Hydrojet walk-in tub comes in with the lowest step in the business. What an amazing product. And at a price point that is about half of the competitors. And so that's why we love working with Randy, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that product here. How we doing, Randy?
Good. How you doing, Mike?
Excellent. So let's talk about your product. Let's tell the folks how great it is, and if and this is not just if they're thinking about it themselves, they probably know somebody in the family maybe who needs this type of product. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Okay. When we first decided to get into this industry, we did a lot of research on what was out there. And as a general rule, there's about three large walk-in tub companies across the nation. And they all advertise, TV, radio, newspaper, print, all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. And as a rule, they have several layers of management and salespeople, commission salespeople, that sort of thing. So as a result, they have to mark their product up really, really high to cover all of their overhead. In addition to that, this is not all inclusive, but by and large, the majority of tubs are either made in China and assembled in the U.S. So they say made in the U.S. because they're assembled here.
Right.
And with that, when you make it overseas and then ship it here, you only have to give a 1-year warranty. You don't have to maintain parts or anything like that. So we decided when we got into the industry that we wanted to make a little bit better impact and make a difference to the customer that would be lasting more value. So rather than make it in China, ship it here, and assemble it. We make it here. We have a certified made in America product. We've got a certification process that we went through. There's a stamp on our product that verifies that. And then in addition to that, we give a 100% warranty on every component for lifetime. And then we're the only frameless design tub. People ask me all the time, Randy, is everybody else wrong and you're right? Well, I don't know if putting a frame on it is right or wrong, right. But the question that I ask them is, have you ever had a bathtub in any house you've ever lived in that had a frame?
Right.
And the answer is usually no.
No. Yeah.
So we don't have a frame on our tub, and that enables us if you have a frame, it raises it up.
Right.
So it enables us to have a 1 to 2 inch step. When you have mobility issues and you have trouble negotiating that 15-inch step into the existing tub you have, the last thing you need is to buy a walk-in tub with a 9-inch step.
Yeah, and that, to me, that doesn't make any sense. So why would the industry, create a product, okay, but then have to still step up the same amount that your regular product would anyway? Yours is the lowest step in the business, 1 to 2 inch step. That makes the most sense when you are talking about mobility issues. And as we reach, a certain age, or if you've had some sort of disability, maybe you've been in the military, something happened, disabled veteran, any accident at all, and you have some sort of mobility issues at any age, this product makes so much sense with a 1 to 2 inch step, and you can get in, take care of your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a competitor that their step is so high, the customers started complaining a little bit. So they developed an accessory that they sell for $20, and it is a step that you put next to the tub. So now you've created, a staircase, if you will, something else to trip on to get in your tub.
So that's even
they
worse.
ought to just make the tub with a lower step,
right?
But they don't.
But yours does. And, lifetime warranty. Nobody does a lifetime warranty on all of the components of a product.
Absolutely not.
And we're talking about, with your competitors that are charging generally 2 or more times what yours runs, and yours is a much better product, and they don't have that.
No, they don't. When we have people out there that have spent $30,000 for a walk-in tub.
Yeah.
That doesn't work. And they call their 800 number and they get a customer service rep on the phone and they walk them through how to take the panels off and disassemble it. And you're talking a 75 or 80-year-old person.
Mm-hmm.
And then they ship it back to the manufacturer at their cost, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
And then they take 2 to 3 months to tell them what needs to be done. And, oh, by the way, that's not covered by your warranty. Well, they've paid a lot of money for this product. It doesn't work. They didn't get any service. It's not covered by warranty, not to mention that they lost use of the tub, what they bought it for 3 months. If you have a problem with our tub, you call an 800 number. We send someone out. We're not looking to see, we're trying to diagnose what the problem is. But if you have a pump issue, we're not going to try to repair the pump. We have a lifetime warranty. We're just going to replace it.
Right.
Doesn't make sense to repair something. Just go ahead and replace it. You can have faulty parts from time to time.
Yeah, that sort of thing happens. So let's talk about this. They purchase, a $30,000 walk-in tub. They think, okay, well, you spend more, you get what you pay for. Maybe there's that type of mindset. You've got a Mercedes C-Class sitting in your bathroom. Thing doesn't work, doesn't have a lifetime warranty. They're going to tell a 70, 80-year-old person, oh, here's how you take it apart, send it back to us at your expense. Are those the type of services, is that the type of company that, you want to deal with? I think the answer to that question is an emphatic no.
It would be a no for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just hammer this home. Look, these guys have these high-pressure salesmen that usually come out, pressure you into getting the deal done. You guys do not have commission sales staff. There's no high-pressure sales. You provide all of the facts for them over the phone, or you'll come out and see them, or one of your staff comes out to see them. And just everything lines up. Price point, lowest step in the business, made in USA. it all lines up.
That's right. When you call most companies, you're getting in touch with some kind of a call center, some toll-free number. And that person's job is to simply set an appointment, not to answer any questions at all.
Yeah.
So they get the appointment, and then someone is scheduled to come out and present the product to your house. Normally what happens when they come out is they've got a brochure, or at best they've got an iPad with a video. And they spend 2-3 hours, in your house trying to sell you a tub that's extremely expensive. And they'll give you some discounts. They've got gimmicks, if you'll do business with me today type things.
Sure.
But as a rule, they're commission only. And so they're going to do whatever they can to try to get that sale. With us, when you call, you're going to get my wife or you're going to get me on the phone. We don't have commission salespeople. We don't mark up our product from an accessory, shipping, or installation point of view. Our profit is made on the tub itself. So there's no incentive for me to sell you something sitting in a warehouse that I've got thousands of them made with all the bells and whistles to justify a price.
Right.
We custom make it for you. So if we come to your house, or we can deal with you just on the phone as well, but we'll answer all your questions on the phone. And when we come to your house, the only reason we would come there is just to make sure the measurements are correct, and hot water heater, electrical panel, that sort of thing.
Make sure everything lines up for the install.
Exactly.
And what the other competition doesn't do is a lot of times they don't get involved with all that. They'll sell you the thing, and maybe you don't have the right type of water heater. Maybe you don't have the right type of plumbing. Maybe you don't have the right type of electrical. Guess what, folks? It ain't their problem. They sold it to you. You figure it out. Randy's not like that. He's going to make sure you have everything you need to put this product in. And if you want to pick your own install team, he even lets you do that. Folks, hey, trust me, you're going to probably have a fall in the bathroom at some time in life. Statistics say that you will. Once you get further on into age, you're going to need a product like this. I'm telling you, it's easy, lowest step in the business, and the price point is bang on. Folks, hydrojetwalkintubs.com is the website. Hydrojetwalkintubs.com is the website. And we'll be talking to Randy more in the next few weeks coming up. And highly recommend giving him or Sheila a call, owners of the company.
Very good. Thanks, Mike.
Absolutely. Folks, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come on back. Far from the shores of home, 2 African-American U.S. Army privates fight for their lives on the battlefronts of World War II. The first Black War correspondents fight to cover the perspective of the black soldier. The novel A Private War weaves all this and more into an epic World War II era story of friendship, conflict, religion, and redemption. Get a copy of Private War, a novel by Perry Cockrell today, now available on Amazon.com. And tune in regularly to Inside Real Estate Sundays, 8 to 9 a.m. to hear Perry Cockrell, attorney at law, as he provides expert analysis of the latest and greatest in legal news. With over 3.5 million square feet and 5 DFW locations, Ideal Floors has you covered for all your flooring needs. Whether you're looking for carpet, tile, laminate, wood, or vinyl plank, Ideal Floors has you covered. And with their price match guarantee and their 100% satisfaction guarantee, they are the absolute best in DFW for all your flooring needs. Call Kevin Hamus, the owner of Ideal Floors, at 214-789-0422 or go to idealfloors.com for all your flooring needs. The Richard Tonica Insurance Agency in Arlington has nearly unlimited resources when it comes to getting you the best insurance rates and policies for home, auto, and more. As part of the Goosehead Insurance brand, you, the consumer, have the power of choice through the Richard Tonica Insurance Agency Network. Richard can quote over 20 A-rated companies to find the best fit for you, the best policy at the best price. Call Richard today at 817-286-2002. It's the Richard Tonica Goosehead Insurance Agency, 817-286-2002.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey folks, we are back. Time for a little bit of mortgage and real estate talk. Hey, we got Terri Wagner here, our resident mortgage expert from Supreme Lending Rockwall. Her website, terriwagner.com, terriwagner.com. How we doing, Terri?
Good morning, Mike. I'm great. How about you?
Good morning.
Good.
I'm good, too.
Good.
What's going on in mortgage world?
Well, I thought maybe this morning we would talk a little refinance.
All right.
Can't get these people to put their house on the market.
That's
we
right.
We need them on the market.
We need inventory.
But if you're not going to, right now is an awesome time to refinance your house if you haven't done so already.
True.
And there's still plenty of people that have not done so.
Yeah.
And if you are paying a 1% more than what the market calls for you to be paying right now, if your interest rate is higher than a point, higher than where we are now, you need to refinance.
Yeah, it's absolutely worth it.
Yeah. But there's just a couple of things that I thought I'd bring to light today. Because our counties, our surrounding counties, have gone through appraisal revaluing. Pretty much everyone has.
Yeah.
Everyone's taxes went up.
Yep.
So what that's going to mean is next year, because taxes are going to come out here in December, or soon, November sometime,
Right.
their tax bill for next year is going to be higher.
Yep.
So if you don't refinance and you've been escrowing all year long on last year's tax amount, the tax bill is going to come out at the higher amount.
Mm-hmm.
Then next year your escrow account is going to be short.
Yep.
Because usually most mortgage companies will do an escrow analysis once a year.
Right.
And they will determine, okay, what does your cushion look like? So if you've got too little, which is 99 times out of 100 going to be the case this year, then they're going to have to not only just raise your payment to cover that shortage, but then they're also going to have to raise it again because now we have this new tax amount.
Right.
So you're going to be hit twice. So your payment's going to go up. Okay?
Yeah, and that's when people start to notice it because they don't always pay attention to their tax bill because it is escrow and they don't pay attention to it like, it's going in there.
Right.
But yeah, once they see that, they're like, ooh.
Yes. And it's crazy because I was calling on some customers that I've closed in the last few years, seeing if it was time for them to refinance. I'm always amazed that people don't file for their homestead exemption. If you don't refinance, if you do nothing else, if you have not filed for your homestead exemption, you need to do that in January.
Right.
We'll remind them again in January. I'll make sure that we do that. But please file your homestead exemption if you do nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a huge discount.
Yes.
And don't forget to file your senior and if you're, veteran or,
That's
you
right.
got disabled veteran.
Disabled. Mm-hmm.
Take advantage of your entitled discounts.
Right. They're there for that purpose, so make sure. All right, so if we do a refinance, and let's say we get started on it and we set up your refinance for November, we're going to close your loan in November. Well, we have the potential to save you 2 mortgage payments where you don't have to make those 2 mortgage payments. And I call this time of year a mini cash out. Where it's not really a cash out, but because and this is only obviously true if you're escrowing your taxes and insurance, but you've got all of this money that's sitting in your escrow account right now that's full because it's about ready to pay your taxes for the year. And depending on when your insurance falls, it may be ready to pay your insurance as well. So you've got a full escrow account.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we refinance, if we are able to close that in November, don't make your November mortgage payment. You don't have a December mortgage payment. Your first payment is not due until January, so you get to skip 2 mortgage payments.
Nice.
Then we're setting up a new escrow account, so we're starting all over. So your balance is going to go up a little bit. We have to play the balancing game on if this is a wise decision for you or not, because your balance is going to go up a little bit because we're establishing a whole new escrow account.
Right.
But then, right here at Christmas time, you get to miss 2 mortgage payments. And then once we start the new mortgage, your old mortgage escrow account will be sent back to you within 30 days.
Nice.
Okay? So you're going to get a little bit of spending cash at Christmas time.
Absolutely.
You can go on a Christmas vacation.
Yeah, I mean, if you can save a couple months mortgage payments, I think everybody's got to sign up for that.
Right.
Not to mention you're going to get a lower interest rate.
That's right.
Probably a lower payment.
Good rule of thumb there is if you can drop your interest rate by a point and you plan on staying in the property for 5 years or longer, then it probably a good time to refinance.
Yeah.
If your plan is to move in 3 years, not a good time to refinance. Obviously, just hold off.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to save a point and you get to miss those 2 payments, you get the escrow account back. You're going to be there for more than 5 years, and you may even be able to shorten your term. Let's say you started out with a 30-year and you've never refinanced, but you've been there for 10 years. Great time to refinance in that instance if you haven't already, because you can go to a 15-year.
Go to 15.
Lower
save
your
5
interest
years.
rate. Your payment will be less. You've got less time to pay on the mortgage, and you get all those other benefits that we talked about.
Yeah, it's a win-win all around.
Right.
And plus, if for example, let's say you've been in your house 5 or 7 years, and maybe your credit score has really gone up.
Right. Maybe
your income has gone up. Maybe now you're a better risk than when you actually bought the house.
Right.
You may actually qualify for a much, 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 much better interest rate than you had then, or could have qualified for then, and it's even better now. So,
and what if you started out as an FHA and you have mortgage insurance and it's going to last for the life of the loan, and you plan on staying there for a good long time? We switch you over to a conventional loan and you already have 20% equity, and now you don't have mortgage insurance. That's when you have the huge savings.
yeah, that is big time.
Yes.
Especially, like you say, coming up close to Christmas, everybody'd like to have a little extra spending money, maybe go on another little vacation, something of that nature. Folks, there are so many options, with your biggest asset, which is your home, your piece of real estate. And, if you've been in your home, like you say, maybe it's time to refinance. And doing that regularly can save you big-time money and maybe get a little cash out here and there.
Right.
Or save, like in this particular situation, this time of the year, it's a good spot. Save a couple months' mortgage payments.
Right. Pay attention to your taxes, folks, because they probably did go up.
Yeah. Always call Terri Wagner of Supreme Lending, the resident expert here in all things mortgage. Her website, terriwagner.com, terriwagner.com. Give her a shout. Refi, Texas cash out, purchase, hey, VA, USDA, FHA, jumbo. She does it all. And trust me, she knows what she's talking about. Folks, we're going to take a short break. Come on back. Folks, it's Mike Kruizinga here with Inside Real Estate Sports Entertainment on 570 AM KLIF. Did you know that virtually all of us will experience a fall in the bathtub at some point in our life? Well, statistically, it's true. And as we get older, a fall in the bathtub can spell disaster, as we just can't recover the same as we did in our younger years. Don't let something as silly and preventable as a bathtub fall put an end to all your special plans you have lined up for your golden years. Invest in a Hydrojet walk-in bathtub. Made in the USA and with the lowest step in the industry, Hydrojet walk-in tubs has your best interest at heart. With no commission sales staff or huge warehouse overhead, they build and sell direct to you, saving you thousands of dollars over their competitors. Call Randy, my friend and owner of Hydrojet Walk-in Tubs, at 855-980-8827 or go to hydrojetwalkintubs.com. You'll be able to speak with Randy directly, and make sure to mention you heard about it on the radio. And for you veterans out there, there's a grant available for you to cover the majority of the cost of a walk-in tub, making it darn near free. Call Randy at 855-980-8827 or go to hydrojetwalkintubs.com today. Folks, it's Mike the Realtor here from Inside Real Estate, and if you're not listing your property with me, bottom line is you're leaving money on the table. There are over 15,000 agents here in the DFW area, most of whom are part-time and do a few deals a year. Do you want to trust them to sell your home? I think not. Call Mike the Realtor, the radio realty expert from Inside Real Estate on 570 AM KLIF. Promise you will get to me direct. Go to InsideRealEstateRadio.com. Don't sell your home with just anyone. Go to InsideRealEstateRadio.com and connect with Mike the Realtor.
Now back to Inside Real Estate. Here's Mike the Realtor.
Hey, folks, we're back inside Real Estate, Sports, Entertainment, Politics. Hey, we're back. Time for some insurance talk. We've got Richard Tonica, expert in everything insurance. His website, richardtagency.com, richardtagency.com. Of course, he's with the Goosehead brand that can shop over 20-some-odd companies behind the scenes to get you the best rate, the best policy. Richard Tonica, how are we doing today?
We're doing great. I'm not a professional, but I play one on TV.
I think you're the utmost professional.
I try to be. But one of the what I wanted to talk about today was I've run into a rash of people lately that, have you ever gotten a quote from one of the big three, and then they call to find out, hey, did you like this quote? And you come back, no, the rate was too high. And say, oh, okay, I've got some more, and let me work on it a little bit, and I'll get back to you. And they send you something that's $200-$300 cheaper than what they sent you the first time. I've run into this quite a bit where, and I try telling the people that are getting this, it's like, what do you think that they did magically that took your rate they listened to you, understood your needs, your wants, and everything, and your budget, and understood that this is the right policy for you. Put it together, send it to you. Oh no, that's too expensive. Oh well. Oh, that's no problem. They're not going to tell you that I raised the deductible, I took off coverages, and once you start getting in there, and this is one of the education that I go through with a lot of people is, and I know I've said this before, is not every insurance policy is the same. They're not all created equal. You may have the same kind of policy, but just have less coverage on this company with this company or that company, or take off endorsements or add endorsements. And so I was walking through a couple people and we started going through, I started giving them an apples to apples comparison, not with my stuff, just showing her what did they take off and where are the changes, because there's not one insurance carrier, I don't care who they are, oh, well, we like you so much, we're going to lower this particular policy for you.
Right.
by 20-30%. No one's going to do that. And so it's just knowing that anybody can sell on price.
Right.
And it's the value of the policy that you get and all the things that make the policy worthwhile. There's a reason that you have insurance and that you pay a premium, and you want it there when you have a claim or something bad happens. And all too often, people don't think about that end of it. They think about the very beginning when they're paying for it. And I understand that, like Terry was saying, that your monthly payment goes up depending on what the policy is. But that's one of the beauties of dealing with me is I've got great policies at great prices. And this year, company A may be the best option for you. Next year, company B, company C, company D, and you can start going through the alphabet with me, where this particular carrier or your big three, they have, in order for them to change your rate on their policy, they either have to take away coverage or they have to increase your deductible or both. Those are the only ways. And so when you see one of the big three that gives you 3 different quotes, that to me is always funny, because one is, I mean, the most expensive is their policy. That's the one that they want that's the one that they want you to go with because they know you're covered. Mm-hmm. The second and third one, the less expensive ones, all they've done is take off coverage.
Right.
Nobody wants that. And so when you're looking at these policies, I mean, really, you've got to dive in and find out what's covered, what's not, and why are you taking off these policies or this coverage, because they're not going to take away coverages that don't mean anything. Mm-hmm. They're going to there's a reason that I can add endorsements to policies left and right. And they're going to have very little effect, because the likelihood of those particular, what we consider perils or risks happening within your house in Texas or in this area aren't that great. So they may change your policy $1 or $2 at the very most, but it looks good because you got all these endorsements on. I don't do that, but you could do that. Mm-hmm. Once you start getting big deductions from taking a peril off, there's a likelihood that that's going to hit your house, and it's going to have an effect. That's the only reason that they're taking that big of a discount for removing it.
Yeah.
And it's, so if you're dealing with an agent that is doing that has come to you with multiple different quotes, I don't know that I would trust someone like that, because what they're trying to do is trick you into going with the lower policy, because they know most people are going to just, I like this price.
Yeah.
And they're not giving you the value. I mean, they started off giving you what you wanted, in what you probably need.
But if you're not willing to pay that price,
then that's okay, because we'll come in and we'll cut all your coverage and give you this. And now we're at the price that you want.
And you're not going to look at the details.
Exactly. And
they got
it's not the policy that you want or need, but it's the price you want. And all too often people just simply go by that. And that brings us to 1-800 numbers. I mean, an agent that is selling to you over a 1-800 number, they are doing it strictly on price. They know exactly. They are getting it down to absolutely the lowest rate that they can. Doesn't matter that it may not be the right price, policy for you. It may not have the coverages that you need, and probably doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
All they know is they are required to have so many policies sold every month, and in order to keep their job. And the likelihood that you're going to find that person again calling an 800 number.
Yeah. Remote.
Yes. And so there's no accountability with that for those kind of agents. And that's the reason that you have someone local with our agency, and we take the time to get to know you and your needs. We are able to offer you better policies at better prices because we shop so many different carriers. It's not that big of a secret that if you cast one fishing pole out, you might catch one fish, the kind of fish that you're looking for. If you've got 25 different poles that you're throwing out there, the likelihood that you're going to find the fish that you want is that much better. And so that way we're actually getting the policy that you want at the price you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely, folks. Definitely give Richard a call. His website, richardtagency.com, for all your insurance needs. Folks, it's Inside Real Estate. Mike Kruizinga. See you next week, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. We're out of here.
The preceding program was furnished by K1 International, LLC, and is responsible for its content.
Neither the hosts nor the guests or contributors of the show Inside Real Estate with Mike Kruizinga are attorneys, CPAs, tax advisors, or investment advisors, and are not providing legal advice during the course of the show. If you need professional legal advice or services in any of those categories, please seek the appropriate professional. The host is a licensed real estate agent in Texas with the Chris Arnold Premier Realty Brokerage, a fair housing broker and member of the MLS. Texas real estate agents are prohibited from providing legal advice.